my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. Today is Quilted Witch Day. We're back on track, back on weekly Quilted Witch. And for this week, they are called, they're little stars, what are they called? Magic Star Blocks. And they're these little babies right here. And they're like 4 inches finished, I think. So they are tiny babies. And we are going to make, how many of them? 6, just 6 tiny little stars. So one of the things that we're going to do is talk about the fabrics. We're going to pick all the fabrics for them. But before we do that, the days. It is I Love to Write Day. Now, I can tell you that I just never thought in my life I would be person who writes a lot when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid growing up, writing just, some people just know they are writers or they write in their journals and do that stuff. I wasn't like that, but all of my life after I became an adult, I have written things, lots and lots of things. And so I was just thinking about that when I heard it was Love to Write Day. And I do like to write things down. And for 2024, I am going to be using the 52 list journal and the planner journal for keeping track of what I'm doing. But I want to show you, I forgot to bring it over here, so let me go get it. But I want to show you what I've done so far for this year and show you those planners again. So for November so far, I am so lame. I didn't even put any stickers in here yet. I need to do that right after I finish this video. This is ridiculous. There's no stickers. But I have been trying to keep track of what I've been working on, and I have done it pretty good every month. So that's a huge thing for me to keep that much sort of diary writing, like, because it's really not something I publish. Like the things, most of my writing is something I publish, whether it's writing my articles, whether it was writing patterns, whether it's writing books, whether it was like when my prior career was writing software or reports. I mean, there were deliverables, things I had to deliver that to somebody. But when you write in here, there's nobody to give it to. It's just for you, your eyes only. So this is the first year I think I've gone pretty far, this far, November. I'm not sure what I did last year. I can't remember that. But here are the 52 lists. This is a book series by Moria Seal, and the books themselves have 52 lists that you then, through the year, each week, take a list and write about it. And then there's also the journal that came along with, goes along with it for, each month. And there's, lists and quotes like, I may make some mistakes. I may have to learn on the go, but I'm open to this journey. Janelle Monáe. And so there is, the start of whatever month this is that I just pulled up. What month is that? I don't know. Does it even have months? It just has little tabs. It doesn't say what month it is. I suppose you just count back. Here's one from Rosalind Carter. Rosalind Carter. If you doubt you can accomplish something, then you can't accomplish it. So true. If you have to have confidence, you have to have confidence in your abilities and then be tough enough to follow through. So true. This is amazing. If you think you can't, you can't. That's pretty much the end of it, right? So there is places to write and things like that. So I am going to be using this one, but then I'm also, I think, going to do the happiness journal. I don't know if I'll do the list every month, but every week, but there's a list in here every week that you can say, list everything you feel passionate about. They are pretty concise topics. The topic is pretty concise. So I think that'll be super cool because I don't have to write a ton. And it's just, they give you 2 pages, just the 2 pages. And so if you write a little bit, you write a lot. I just think it's a really, really cool thing. List the things you want to say no to. I learned many years ago how to say no. Many, many years ago. It was a tough road to get there, to learn to say no is a complete sentence. But I got there. Then they have topics, list for happiness, list for calm, and there's a few other ones. So I'll link you below again to the 52 lists. You can also find the link to these books here on my I Love to Make Quilts on the future projects page. I'm still mulling over, and I'm going to be very honest here. I'm going to be super, super honest. I'm not sure I want to do a quilt block every week. That's a lot. And it means I have to do a layout. I'm thinking I might just do the journals and not do the block. I just need to be realistic and not get overloaded and not enjoy it. I need to be able to enjoy it. So maybe another year will be for that, not for 2024. I think we're going to go with that as I talk myself through this. Just the planner and the list. That's all I'm going to do. And then today also is Camp T-shirt Day. That is so fun. Camp T-shirt Day. I don't have camp t-shirts. I only went to a couple Girl Scout camps as a kid, and I don't remember if I got t-shirts. I didn't keep them. I do have quilting t-shirts, but I don't have camp t-shirts. But many of you do. So today, if you have a camp t-shirt, show that. A camp t-shirt quilt, I'm sorry. It has to be a quilt. Don't just show the t-shirts unless you're telling us this pile is going to become a quilt. So we're talking about quilts. Okay. Also, I would love to see any turkey things like Thanksgiving quilts, pillows, Thanksgiving pillows that you have. I would love to have a Thanksgiving pillow, like a turkey on it, because, you know, I'm that Thanksgiving baby. The only turkey I ever did was many, many years ago. And I showed this, I don't know, maybe last year or the year before here on the video. I know the designer. It's either Jan Paytek and Linda Brownek's book, or just Jan Paytek. I can't remember which. And I did this super long time ago. I did not put a label on it, so I don't know what year, but probably, you know, around 2000 or 1999, something like that. But here is this awesome turkey, and I don't even know if I still have the pattern, but that would be such a cool pillow. You know, because I love this primitive style, this primitive folk art style. So yeah, so there's my turkey quilt. Now, I think last time I showed this, somebody may have recognized the pattern or the book that this came from. This is, I think, actually part of a bigger quilt, and I just made this smaller version. So I think the actual real project has more images on it. So anyways, I don't have a turkey pillow, but someday I will. Maybe maybe that's for next year. Everything, you could do the turkey pillow next year. You know, you got to save something, right? You can't make everything all at once and use up all of everything. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's talk about these little bitty magic stars. I got to pick some fabric, so let me just pull this out. To refresh your memory, the book quilt is like this, and many of you are doing the witch. You bought the kits for this, and you love the witch. I wanted to offer something without the witch that was a little bit smaller quilt and repeated fabrics, repeated blocks, more pumpkins and stars, and a few leaves from one of my patterns. So my layout is this guy, and you can you can download this free layout. There it is on the front. So the front side would be easier, wouldn't it, Pat? Yep, it would. So there you can see the original, and then I made it a little bit different. You definitely need the book. You can't make this without the book. And so we have to go back to my witch's garden. There we go. I can hear squirrels out there. They're banging around outside my window. So I've got this background, and then the turquoises and aquas, which all read, what do they read? They read light. And then I have my oranges and browns, which read as the darks. And so that turquoise has to read as the light. So what I'm going to do is do orange and brown star points. Do this for the background. Star points will be either orange or brown, and then the center will be orange or turquoise. And these are tiny, at 4 inches finished. And so I will just pick, like, I don't want, again, because of these smaller ones, I don't want the bigger scale. So if there's 6 of them, I'll do 3 orange, and I'll use these 3 orange, and then I'll use 3 brown. Or I might have to have 2 brown repeated, Could I attempt that one? I don't think so. I think I could attempt this one as a brown. I think this one, when you cut it, those star points, they're just gonna mess up because that leaf is so big and so high contrast that it'll just mess up the shape of what you're looking at. Okay, so for centers, I want to do the plaids. So I've got, and I can do 2 of each, you know, I can make them the same. I can put acorn in the middle. I think an acorn in the middle would be super cute. This one, the scale is so big, again, that it would just be either like an orange blob or something. You're just not going to see it. I don't know if I can get a pumpkin. I'm going to try for a pumpkin. So I need 6 centers. So there we go. And yeah, well, there, look, there's an extra from something I didn't manage to use. So a couple of these I'll do 2. I might do 2 plaids. So that'd be 4. Oh, I need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 6. There we go. If I could count, that would be awesome. So I just know the acorns won't go with this one, and the others can go anywhere. So like I probably need something like the acorns probably needs this as the combination. I'll do that one for the acorns. That should be good. And that one may be a little bit blendy. So we'll see. We'll see, but I don't mind that so much. Sometimes a little bit blendy is fine. Okay, I am going to get these ready. When you're making these little blocks, the fabrics that work really best are ones like this, that read more solid and don't have much activity going on like that. So I'm going to make it, and I'm going to show it to you, and you can decide for yourself if you like this in the star points, because it is going to be very chopped up because they're such small pieces. But that's how you learn. I find, and I also find that I enjoy having those little pops of quirkiness in the quilt, like something that's just a little bit different, so that it's not all just tonals or looks like solid from a few feet back. I like those things that give you a little bit of interest, but that's just me. So a lot of you, that is not how you prefer to work. You prefer to really keep it solid, you know, really keep it very tonal, like, you know, like this for something small, because they do look really nice. Okay, let me work on these. So sometimes when we're making one of these, we get all the way done and there's a little problem. Can you even see this? Can you see how this is ruffled? I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. Here's where I'm at with the construction. I have all but those 2 left to do. These 3, this 4, but this guy has a construction problem, and it is probably to the point where I could leave it if I wanted. I don't know why that's not scrolling in. Here it goes. Okay, let's take a look. Can you see how this is ruffled up? Look at that. Look at that. You can see that. It's just totally lifted up. Now I could press it, but even like when I press it down, it's gonna have like a pleat or a ruffle. I'd have to ease it in, because I think I must have had this maybe too big, this particular piece here. And so what I'm going to do, of course, is it's on, I have to take off this side. I just take it down to about here, and this side down to about here. And we'll remove this and look at what the issue is, because it could go in there, you can make it work, and when you quilt it, honestly, when you quilt it, it's going to get nice and crinkly, and you're probably not going to see that, although you might cause a little pleat or something, you know, that might get a little fold, you know, it might end up with something like that, like a fold. So we're going to take it out. So while I'm picking this last part out, I just want to say there's like no 100% perfection in quilt making. We can strive for making things perfect, but no matter how long you've been sewing, how many years, you are still going to have times when something goes awry. And it could be for a multitude of reasons. You know, something's cut wrong, you didn't notice it's cut wrong, your seam allowance is a little off because you're not paying attention. I mean, there's nothing in that with the seam allowance to make you stay on that 4th inch. It's your brain making you stay on the 4th inch. So, you know, you have to be like on your A game a lot of times, and we're not. Our brain wanders on to doing other things. Okay, so what's going on here? this, I'm going to press it. Hold on. Okay, I know what happened. So it is pretty much the right width of 1.5, and it's supposed to be 2.5 inch long. So the base piece here, the beige, the background is 2.5, but you can see over here, see underneath, see that space, and there's a little bit of a space over here. That means when I did my sew and flip, I didn't get it all the way out to the edge. It was short. My sew and flip was short. I wasn't right on the line. And I don't need to take these off and redo them. All I need to do is compensate when I sew that I'm sewing my 1/4 inch like here. And what I did is I sewed it lining this up, which made it pull. So it made this pull and this flare because this is shorter than that. And that's what we saw. This was ruffling because this was pulled in tight, whereas I need to compensate for that. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you're basically just going to have to sew it, like sew air in a way. You use your top fabric, to the one that's accurate, to be the 1/4 inch. So like here. So what I would do is I would have this on here. I need to press that. Hold on. So when I have this on here, I cannot match that orange out to the edge. I can't pull it all the way out to the edge because it's a little short. But I'm okay. That's good. It's okay. I just need to know that. I need to know that on each end there's going to be this bigger piece sticking out a little bit. And it's not much, is it? It's, you know, like 1/8 of an inch or less than 1/8 of an inch, whatever it is. But when you pulled the edges to meet, then you were ruffling, because this was longer than this side. It's a little bit short. Okay, so I'm going to sew it back. I think you can see it here. It is so small, but it's like 1/16 of an inch or something where it doesn't meet. But when I pulled it, when I made this match to the outside and this side matched to the outside, then I was pulling it so that this was ruffling up here and, you know, having that thing, that pucker. All right, let's finish it up. Here we go. It is much better. So that fits in there now. It still has a slight lift to it. And I did put the clapper on it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the clapper on for a little while, but it has got that major poof gone. I'm not sure. I may have just stretched the fabric just a tiny bit after all that sort of manipulating with it. So, you know, if that bothered you, but it's enough for me to be great. I mean, it's just totally fine for me. The other thing is you should be measuring these squares now, because often with the littler squares, you might have a little bit that needs trimmed off. And so take your ruler, and I'm not cutting it here, but I'm just going to show you because it shows up nice on the white. Here you can see there's a little bit here that's past the ruler that will get trimmed off, and a little bit bigger piece up here past the ruler. And it's not, I'm a little shy on that one corner, but I can handle that with the seams when I'm sewing. And then check the other two sides as well. You know, do two sides and then rotate and check the other two sides, and do all of your blocks so that you know, like, everything is the right size, because it just gets worse and worse if you have a wrong size. Those size problems just grow and grow and grow and create a lot of issues with your construction. All right, I'm almost done. Just finish up those other two. Here are the 6 sweet quilted magic stars from the Quilted Witch, or the Quilted Witch's Garden, which is what I'm doing, which is witchless. Can you see the one that has the busier star points? Can you pick it out? Okay, if you forgot, it is that one. But it turned out super cute. Looks really good. So I've got them all up on the wall, all the blocks so far. So let me just toss these up here as well. Just sprinkle them on here so you get a feel. The little churn dashes all have a background that is not the background fabric. So it has one of the lights as a background. And so that's mixed. I think I like having them mixed up, so it'll be like that the whole way through. Let me get the other camera. And here they are. So we've got 2 big blocks so far, and then the churn dashes. I like how this one is sort of fadey. Some of you may not like that. You may not want to do that with yours, but I love having some of them like that every so often. And then the little bitty magic stars, where look how sweet they are. And so that's how it's going to be going. There's quite a lot of background eventually. You'll see, you look at the pictures, quite a lot of background. but it is looking so good. So next week we will do on Thursday the next section. Just to remind you that this is the book that we're sewing from, and then I have the Witchless version. Now there's also a cross stitch in case you love this. I think she is super cute. And there's this massive needle minder. It's a nice big heavy needle minder, which is cool if you want it for like other project bags and stuff that you can actually clip it on the outside. It's got 2 magnets. That one is super nice. And I have one little thing that came in the mail that I want to show you. This is from Bonnie in North Carolina. Look how pretty this is. Just look. Gorgeous. But wait. She found these. She said she saw these and thought of me. And oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta hold on to them so I don't drop them. Look at the little plates with the little bitty mushrooms. These are so stinking cute. They are so precious, so precious. They can go with my little tiers of things. So darling. I'm gonna need to get some little stands. I might actually have some little stands. They're supposed to be for name tags. I gotta look for that. I think I have some. These are so cute. Thank you for thinking of me. Oh my goodness. All right, my friend, this was a Quilted Witch kind of a day. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were sewing along because it's such a fun sew. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.